Caution, this video may contain spoilers. Now that it's finally available on HBO Max, fans have started to wonder, is Austin Butler really singing in Elvis? A new name has been added to the cast of Full Circle, the Who's Talking with Chris Wallace show has been given a release date on HBO Max, and after that, who knows? Want to find out? Make sure to stick around. Now, let's get to it. First up, is Austin Butler really singing in Elvis? Now, Elvis is finally streaming on HBO Max. Fans have started to ask themselves whether it might actually be the actor Austin Butler himself who portrays the one and only Elvis Presley who sings throughout the movie. Well, director Baz Luhrmann has given us an answer to that most important question. The director released a new clip showing one of the early screen tests with Butler, explaining which parts of the movie use Butler's own voice. He said that he probably should have put more emphasis on the fact that Butler does indeed use his own voice for all the younger Elvis parts. This question seemed to be asked most often about the song Trouble, to which the positive responses have been overwhelming. The footage Baz has released shows Butler just jamming with the boys, while the crew is testing the lenses. Elvis's granddaughter Riley also thought it was important to share the clip, and once again state that it is in fact Butler who is doing the vocals. Even though Butler went through 2 years of vocal studies, Baz rightly points out that it simply feels like Butler was channeling Elvis whenever he was performing. The result is amazing and authentic. So the answer to our question is yes, Austin Butler does all the singing for young Elvis in the new movie Elvis. Next, Zazie Beetz joins the cast of Full Circle. It was reported by Variety back in August of 2021 that HBO Max has ordered a limited series called Full Circle. On the project, we find Steven Soderbergh, who is to write and direct and executive produce all 6 episodes of the upcoming series, and Ed Solomon, who will also be writing and executive producing. The details of how Zazie Beetz will fit into the moving picture has yet to be released, but there is an official logline for Full Circle. The story will follow an investigation into a botched kidnapping, which uncovers long-held secrets that will connect multiple characters and cultures in present-day New York City. You might have heard of Beetz from the hit FX series Atlanta, for which the actress won an Emmy nomination for Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy in 2018. The 3rd season of Atlanta has ended in 2022, and the 4th and final season has been scheduled to be released on the 15th of September 2022. But Beetz has been in much more interesting projects that might sound familiar to your ear, like Deadpool 2, Joker, The Harder They Fall, Bullet Train, and 9 Days. We have no doubt that Beetz will perform beautifully, no matter what kind of shoes she ends up putting on. And now, Chris Wallace Talk Show gets a premiere date on HBO Max. They have found a new home for Chris Wallace's talk show, and it's HBO Max. Who's Talking to Chris Wallace used to be released on CNN+, but that was wrapped up in April of 2022, only a month after it was launched. Distraught fans were soon reassured by Warner Bros. Discovery that the Chris Wallace Talk Show would continue on a different platform, but did not give any further information as to what platform that would be. But now it has been announced that Who's Talking to Chris Wallace will continue to exist, with the show premiering on HBO Max on the 23rd of September 2022. With a new format in place, 3 new episodes will be released on HBO Max on Friday morning, and after 2 days, they'll be dropped on CNN. Wallace will be hosting the 1-hour special on CNN at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which will feature the best of the 3 previously released on HBO Max interviews. Guests that have been scheduled in for this season are names like Alex Rodriguez, James Patterson, Shania Twain, and Tyler Perry. Who's Talking to Chris Wallace will further feature interviews with politicians, CEOs, Hollywood celebrities, and other newsmakers. For example, we can also expect interviews from then White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki and former Walt Disney CEO Bob Iger. Which one are you most looking forward to? Hold up, we do have more to come, so sit back down, because HBO has announced a new original documentary that you'll want to keep an eye on, and we've got a release date as well. Furthermore, the Pretty Little Liars reboot is getting a 2nd season, and HBO promises to fix that CGI mistake that we all saw. But if you want to make sure you know all about it, make sure to watch until the end of this video. Let's start with HBO announces original documentary series Hostages. HBO has announced a new original documentary series, Hostages, which is set to debut on HBO Max the 28th of September 2022. All 4 episodes of the original documentary will be available on HBO Max from that moment of release. Hostages dives deep into the situation that happened on the 4th of November 1979, the day that the relationship between the United States and Iran changed completely. Iranian student activists had planned a 48-hour sit-in protest against American imperialism, but it quickly escalated into an international crisis that was covered by the media 24/7 and would last 444 days. The documentary makes use of never-before-seen archival footage and interviews with Iranian hostage takers and American hostages, filled with revelations about what truly happened during those 444 days. Hostages chronicles one of the most intense international deadlocks in American history, which puts the spotlight on what it is that makes the relationship between Iran and America so complicated, with a history mystery that's filled with high-rolling oil deals, deposed leaders, covert CIA operations, a lost presidency, backdoor arms sales, revolutionary idealism, and religious fervor. With the promise of multiple perspectives, Hostages just might teach us about some of our current problems. Following, Pretty Little Liars: Original Sin has been renewed for a second season. HBO Max has decided to stay a while in Millwood. HBO Max will give us a second season for the Pretty Little Liars reboot, Original Sin. The news has come mere weeks after Pretty Little Liars: Original Sin wrapped up its very first season, which had a 10-episode run. At the moment, Original Sin holds a 70% viewer and 88% critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Sarah Aubrey, head of originals at HBO Max, can't be happier with the renewal of the show. She gushed about how proud that they are with the incredible response the reboot has been given, which clearly shows how the new generation of liars has been embraced. They're also very happy that this brilliantly dark, horror-fueled take on this iconic franchise from co-creators Roberto Aguirre Sacasa and Lindsay Calhoun Bring has also been widely accepted. Pretty Little Liars has always been a very important franchise, but only one of the few legacies that have been tapped for revisitation. Sex and the City and Gossip Girl have also enjoyed recent revivals, both of which will be going on for a second season as well. When Pretty Little Liars: Original Sin Season 2 will be released is unknown yet, but we are sure that we will hear more on that soon. And now, HBO is going to rectify that CGI slip in House of the Dragon. We're only on the third episode of House of the Dragon, and the CGI mistakes are already popping up. In the episode Second of His Name, fans instantly noticed that there was something off with the hand of King Viserys. It seems like the CGI did not edit out the green screen effect on the king's hand, leaving them painfully green. As the mistake is really hard to miss, and fans are all in a fury over such a blatant mistake, HBO will rectify the situation, which it would have done regardless of response the moment it was found out. Obviously, the green figures should have been stumps or covered in lovely maggots, depending on where in the story we are. It's not the first time there's a CGI mishap in the Game of Thrones franchise. In Season 8, Episode 4, The Last of Starks, there was the infamous Starbucks cup, which has since been removed. But CGI mistakes just happen all the time. The Duffer Brothers have revealed that Netflix gave them permission to update some of the VFX in Stranger Things Season 4 after it had already been dropped. They also say that they'll do something about the painful error that they made with Will's birthday, just so you know. The fourth and next episode of House of the Dragon, King of the Narrow Sea, will be released on the 11th of September. Have you watched the trailer for the upcoming episode yet? And that was all we have for you for now. What do you think of Austin Butler's vocal performance as young Elvis? Did they make the right decision to use the actor's real voice, leaving the feeling of it all just that little more raw? Or should they have done something differently? If so, what would you like to have heard? Let us know in the comments below what you think, and thanks for watching.